I went on Twitch too. Just why not?
Oh, nice. Cool. That'll do both at the same time, I take it.
Yeah.
Sweet. Okay, I see it. Nice.
Sweet. All right.
I've got a handful of, I'll say this towards the end of the first half too, but I got a handful of like general questions for trivia. Also, look at Eddie Yimi's hair. Whoa. And then I've got a
The headband
few,
is
yeah.
giving it some major volume.
And then in the second section, I have a guess the player based off the badges that he played for. If you've
Sweet.
seen those kind of questions too. So
God,
I had a few, I had a fun with that too.
I'm so bad at this. As soon as
Okay,
you
well,
sent
you
through,
might be cooked because there's a few players before your time too.
see that's the problem. As soon as you sent through the trivia, I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm never good at this stuff.
I'd be curious to see who's in here at the time of that so we can get some other answers in there too. Okay. You got any score predictions for today?
Well, let's go through. You want to jump in the lineup first? And
Yeah, yeah.
as
Let's do it.
I mean, I know the stream's rolling. We're waiting for some people to roll in,
Sure.
but welcome back to the BVB podcast. Kicking off the Bundesliga season with the first live stream of the year. Hopefully, we'll get a few more of these in throughout the season.
Mm.
Won't be able to do it every week, but the goal is to do it a little bit more along with our normal weekly episodes. But yeah, good time to start the season, or good time to start with the live stream with the season opener, Dortmund away at St. Pauli. Uh, got the live stream pulled up right now, which it seems like, I mean, St. Pauli always does it right, but great. I think a great away day to start the season. Um, but yeah, let's start with the lineup. Um, Starting with the back line, Kobel in goal, Benzabaini, Anton, and Mane getting his first. Nah, maybe not first Bundesliga start. Don't want to
I think
start
it
off the.
is.
I still want to start the season with already my fake stats that I threw out there. I shouldn't have jumped in so hot, but here we are. And then we got Svensson, left wing back, Sabitzer, Kuto, right wing back, Bellingham, and Gross. In the midfield, Adeyemi and Girsi both getting the starts up top. Sur- One surprise, I don't know if it's a surprise. It might not be a surprise to some people at this point, like at this point, but Brandt, I think, is kind of the standout who's not getting the start. And then
Mm-hmm.
Mecha, I would argue you could maybe see him getting the start too, but I like seeing Job in there. Never mind seeing Gross, Sabitzer. Maybe Sabitzer's the one where you think maybe you'd see Brandt or Mecha in place of him.
Yeah,
But
Metro.
yeah, any thoughts on lineup?
I'd be curious to see if it's going to be just Savitzer at the six, or this is kind of a bit more of a double pivot with Job right in front of him, or there's, with all three of them being having qualities of an eight and a number six, I can see some rotation there. But yeah, I was a bit surprised to see Mecha out, Brant too. But I mean, probably good. Best thing for all of us and for the team too, given his form last year. But I don't know if there's something beyond that, or Kovac really just recognizes that and understands that there's players ahead of him at the moment. But
Yeah.
either way, it's the strongest lineup we could have outside of those two, really. I mean, Sula and Schlotterbeck have some injury problems that they're going to have to overcome these next month or so. Schlotterbeck's road to recovery seems to be a lot quicker than people initially anticipated. But yeah, outside of that, this back line is going to be very, very thin for quite some time now. But this is a favorable opposition to start out with and not have so much pressure riding on the back like someone like Filippo Mane, who I believe, yeah, I think this is his first Bundesliga start. His first competitive for the senior team, even I think, was just a few days ago in the Pokal. So
Mm-hmm.
good for him to get a good start under his belt for that. And he got some decent touches in that game, settled in well, didn't really look out of place. So this will be another good test for him here in the first game of the season.
Yeah, and what they signed Mane, I mean, we're gonna always have these criticisms until they sign at least like three new center backs. But it's like we always need more center backs, and I know there was some talk on him last season, particularly because they actually signed him to a first team contract. He seen a lot
Mm-hmm.
of minutes with the under 23s and uh, in the academy and all that stuff. So I know they've hyped him up as a prospect and someone we kind of want to build for the future. And like, I mean, the future is now with the injuries we have, and now is this time to step up. I'm glad to see that. I think it's something felt like we've drifted away from the last few seasons. It's like, where's these young guys that we're bringing up and really pushing through?
Mhm.
And he seems to be the one right now. Like pressure's on, time to step up as we're kicking off in St. Pauli, at St. Pauli, I should say. But yeah, we got some other young guys too on the bench, similar to what we were seeing last year. Young defenders, Lures, Kabar,
Yeah.
and then we didn't mention Rierson, who missed the Pokal match, but he is on the bench. So glad to see him back.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a race against time for him, and thankfully he's able to at least be in the squad. I don't know how many minutes he's going to get here. And Kutos, surprisingly too, we were worried about him having a broken leg, being out for several months, and here he is starting a few days later.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Shout out to him in the chat. Happy match day, sir.
Yeah, if you're in the chat, make sure you say, let us know where you're, I almost said listening and watching from. If you got the double stream on with us and the match, yeah, let us know so we can shout you out. Let know where you're watching from. And
Shout
then I
out to
know
the
a
other
lot of
fan clubs
people.
across the globe and the
That's what I was
country
about to
too.
say.
Especially, yeah, there's a lot of people that are out in the bars today. St. Louis being one of them too, at the Amsterdam Tavern. So
Yeah, I
it's a
did want
shame
to
we
shout
can't
out.
be there, but also got some friends
I
out
did
there
want to
too.
shout out BVB Music City,
Yeah.
new supporter group in Nashville. Um, and if you're new here, if you're just jumping on, if you haven't watched or listened too much or gotten too involved with the show, we do have a Discord, which I know is going to be pretty active today with the match. But the BVB Music City guys were a couple guys who met in our Discord and then went on to form a supporters group. So I know they're having their not their first watch party, but first watch party of the year today,
Mm-hmm.
which is really cool to see.
In possession in that last one, we were running with a back four, which I found kind of interesting. Mane slipped more on the right. And it was Benzabaini and Anton in the as the two center halves there. Oh yeah, but any score predictions though?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 2-1, and I think St. Pauli scores first.
I was
we'll
thinking
have to
kind of a similar
we'll
vein,
have to fight
honestly.
back. I
I'm
don't
gonna
know,
go
and
3-1.
maybe
I don't
that's
know if
me.
St. Pauli score first or not.
Maybe that's me not putting enough faith in Kovac or still having so much traumatic feelings for the years past. I do think we're in a much better spot with Kovac, and I think I mean how he ended the season, of course, last year is fantastic. I don't see too much drop off really. I feel like he's a coach who's going to get these guys motivated in the offseason and be able to come out strong and keep pushing. But I
Mm-hmm.
think that's me just being a Dortmund fan the last few years, knowing how bad things can be. I just automatically assume like it might start a little rough.
Yeah, yeah. Got
Shout
St.
out to
Louis
Matt
and
in St.
Chicago
Louis.
here in the chat. St. Louis City played in Chicago this past weekend.
Don't
Were you there
remind
for
me.
that game, Jake?
Yeah, dude, it was the worst traveling back. Um, dude, it was so bad. The flight from Chicago to St. Louis is like 45 minutes. Um, and there was a rain delay, so that delayed the
Mm-hmm.
match. We fly back after the match, but there was delays. The bus ride from the stadium to the airport was another 45 minutes. We sat on the bus for like another hour waiting to get into the airport. We sat on the plane for like 2 hours waiting to take off because of the storms and everything. I got
Oh
home
my
at like
god.
5:30. It was horrible.
Oh my god.
It's like it might as
And
well
that's
have been
wild
a.
because it's just a 5 hour drive, you know?
We should have taken the train. We should have taken a bus all the way back. It might as well have been a West Coast trip. It was horrible.
Uh-huh. Also, man, I agree. The orange ball would be very helpful in a time like this. Looks like it's snowing. If you guys didn't hear us earlier, we'll be doing a little trivia at halftime, which you're welcome to stay for. Anyone's welcome to participate. Could be a good look here. Is that Svensson ripping it in? I think it is. Is it? Yes, it is. Yeah. See what he could do here. Oh no, my screen was lagging for a minute. That's so much confetti. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, Sabitzer's playing pretty deep here. Lots of rotation in the back three. I mean, now Benzabaini's hanging on the right. Mane's right-footed, to my knowledge.
Yeah, Benzabini's on the right, Mane's on the left. Maybe it's just a kind of a
Gross
little
and Savitzer both
disorganized.
taking turns dropping. Svensson's even tucking middle at times too.
Did see that a lot last season. Him kind of playing a little more inverted run, jumping in the midfield.
The ball just skipping across all that. Too funny. Wonder if at halftime they'll brush any of it off or something.
I don't even know how you get that
Just
off
that
there.
pile
Yeah.
here towards the middle third on the left side.
Carver, you touched on Mane in the Pokal game last weekend. What were your like quick recap overall thoughts of that coming out of that game with just a 1-0 win?
Yeah, like I said, Mane was looked up to speed there with the rest of the team. Those opening minutes I thought were really solid. I forgot how many. I actually wrote it down here. I think we generated the chance in the opening 30 seconds and then 2 shots on target in the first 3 minutes. I had the 2 striker system and put them under some pressure early, but and we also Dortmund used that strategy that's becoming more and more popular for a lot of professional teams, at least, where they kick the ball straight out of bounds and then tries to put the opposition under pressure in their own defensive third. And it kind of fits into our pressing identity. But outside of those opening 15, 20 minutes or so, Essen, really weathered that storm, started putting us under some pressure, and I thought we looked pretty predictable for the most part for the rest of that game, and pretty underwhelmed as well. But also, it's the first competitive game of the season. We're still figuring things out. We're going to be going through a lot of rotation with injuries for a while, and it's not uncommon for bigger teams to find like a rhythm in this opening round of the Pokal. You've seen in the past Bundesliga sides go out in the first round or go really late into the game against a side that's in the second, third division. So, that's not terribly uncommon, but yeah, either way, it needs to be cleaned up. Hopefully today. I think it's going to be a big tell of how we're still maintaining the pressure after the next 10 or so minutes. Did you catch any of the game?
Yeah, I watched it. I think the second half I couldn't pay as much attention. But yeah, first half, yeah, first 30 seconds, first few minutes came out flying, and I thought, oh yeah, this is gonna be a nice easy game. And I do want to say, I think the atmosphere at the stadium was incredible. It's happy to see that it
Yeah,
was
it
just
really was.
completely
It was
packed.
fun to listen to. What second are you at? You look like you're a little behind me.
Yeah, I think mine just lagged up. I'm at 9:09, 10, 9:11.
Okay.
What are you at?
It's a few seconds ahead.
You want to pause it real quick?
Yeah, I did. We're good.
Okay. But yeah, I think a little disappointing with the result, just winning by one, just knowing that it's a 3 Liga team. But I mean, it's the first game of the season. That's the tricky thing with these. It's like you can almost look at it as a preseason game, but it's a preseason game there where if you lose, if you don't get the result, it's a pretty bad start to the year. So I'm glad they were able to figure it out and
Yeah, it's kind
get
of
the win. But
catastrophic given fan base has been. We've been craving a Pokal quite some time and haven't even won the Pokal in 4 years now. So to go out this early against a side like that would have been unacceptable.
Yeah.
But Mane, outside of if you just look more at the numbers, oh no,
Ooh.
Kobo Wyatt, yeah, took a little bit there to the
Oh
face.
man.
I'll hold off for a minute while we ensure his safety.
Jeez.
To keep his hip. I mean, his face
Jeez.
caught
Oh my gosh.
the hip breaker. Which I think we worse.
Yeah. Unless he broke his neck.
Yeah, but Mane here, he had 93% pass accuracy, 85 passes completed, 3 out of 5 successful long balls, 15 passes into the final third, 6 ball recoveries, a few duels won, and then half of his tackles won as well. So he passed the eye test, but also if you look at the numbers as well, the statistics back up his impressive debut as well. Listen up, Eddie. He said, if anybody else has any other prediction because they want to throw in the chat, throw it in there. We have a 2-1 for Jacob and a 3-1 for me. Both wins, of course. We threw out a poll earlier on both our Instagram and our Discord. 92% of results so far said a win for today, 4% for a draw, 4% for a loss.
Who
And in our
is
Discord,
predicting a loss? Who? I need to know names. I need to know who you are.
I
How
don't think
dare
it's
you?
that crazy. And then in our Discord, 100% of votes went to win. The confidence everyone's got.
Do I think Kobo is going to be able to stay in? I know. I mean, hopefully he's okay. I thought Meyer was.
Yeah, the play resumed.
Yeah, Meyer was booting up and possibly getting ready, but I know that was a big discussion in the offseason or into last season too. Like what's going to happen with the goalkeepers, and a lot of talk before the season ended was Kobo possibly going to Chelsea. Of course, with us finally or ending out the season really well and getting in top four. Of course, Kobo more staying, but the really I think the wrenching things was when we signed Deont Ramage from Ajax, and then he went on loan to Copenhagen. Um, but he is, and we're going to say, well, is Meyer going to stick around? Is Kobo going to stick around? What's going to happen? But if you haven't been paying attention, Ramage is on loan at Heidenheim. Looks to be their number one. Did play earlier this morning. Not a great game because he gave up a foul, got a yellow card, gave up a foul in the box, and led to a PK. They ended up losing 3-1 to Wolfsburg. But he's young. Time for him to grow. Good loan move for him. Lost Carver. I think he's coming back.
All right. Am I coming through okay?
Gotcha. Yep. You're back.
Wouldn't be a podcast or a live stream with us without some sort of technical difficulty, now would it?
Where's your match stream
I
at?
caught, yeah. Now it froze as well on the other screen. Um, I was catching a good amount of what you're saying about the goalkeeper situation, and it's interesting too because it's not just at the senior level as well. If you look, I mean, I know you mentioned Meyer, but outside of that, Marcel Lutka, he had a handful of senior appearances for Hertha Berlin several years ago. And I know whenever we originally invested in him, he was going to be an up and coming goalkeeper that we could use for the second team, and that's what he was for a few years until just this last year when he was offloaded. Um, so for the first and second team, there was rotation and obviously some business on for the departures and arrivals for the goalkeeper situation a lot this summer. Even though Dortmund as a whole has been pretty quiet for the rest of the squad, it's been pretty active in terms of the goalkeeper situation. Now I just got to refresh my actual stream while I'm on here. Not even that far away from the router, which is crazy. I'm just in one of the
Yeah.
bedrooms. All right, now I'm at 1654.
Okay.
Now I'm at 17 minutes.
Okay.
And 1, 2.
Yeah. I just paused mine. I think we should be caught up. Shout out to Lisa in our Discord. It says Benzabaini making me miss Schlotty and Hummels, seeing how bad his long balls have been. He's like over 3 right now. Which I do want to talk about the.
Shit.
Oh, come on! Oh no!
Oh, Kobel's off his line as well. Oh, it's a good save.
It's good recovery by Benzabaini too, as we were just talking about his long ball inaccuracy. He was able to get back, put some pressure on him, but good positioning by Kobel too. Oh man, just over his head.
He was off his line there. Yeah, but that's a good reaction save. Whew.
Not the best shot, but yeah, great by Kobel.
Yeah, it's crazy. If you look at Schlotterbeck's market value over the past calendar year and a half, it's either gone up only a little bit or actually dropped some. And yes, he's been missing a little bit of football, but I find that super surprising. I still think he's one of the best center backs and specifically number number fives in the world,
Yeah, I mean, he's been our best player maybe the last 2 seasons. I know obviously the injury last year, maybe that's what people are forgetting about him a little bit, but I mean that's something we always talked about. Was I think he's still underappreciated even in like in Europe, when Europe is looking at him in Champions League, which he has great performances in the Champions League. So surprising that I mean, not a bad thing that he's maybe a little under the radar. Like, good for us. No one's going to swoop in and try to take him yet, but yeah, interesting. He's so good. And then I was going to talk about before they had that breakaway, Hummels coming back and playing that in that match against Juventus, playing the first 15 minutes. And part of me was just like, are you sure you don't want to just sign him for the year?
I saw Stefan Busko make a post about that as well. Like, he's still our best center back, basically, outside of Schlotty.
At least now it's like he's retiring now. That's more what that send off was about, and I'm glad he got that. I'm like, such cool scenes and cool to see him suit up one more time. But more than anything, it made me just like miss. Like, we still need. Was that the same game that Zula came in for him and then got injured in that match? So it's like,
I think it was, yeah.
Sign him to an official contract. Just please. Why not?
God, what a disappointment Zula's back were signed within 6 months of each other, if I'm not wrong. I believe they were, because Sula was, albeit he didn't arrive until the summer, he was signed when his contract was up in Bayern in January. And then whenever we got Schlotterbeck later, it was pretty early in the summer, very late in the spring. when we were able to get his signature. And I was thinking at the time, we got two German internationals, arguably the two starting center backs for the national team, and on our hands, and that could be a great partnership going forward. They were both either in their early or mid 20s, and here we are, almost 4 years later, 3 years later, and Sule has been at best inconsistent and either absent or pretty detrimental to our team for
Yeah.
the majority of his spell here. I mean, he's had moments, but yeah, incredibly disappointing.
Was that? I feel like that was right when Kel took over too, and um, we are like, oh man, Kel's just cooking, bringing in Schlotterbeck and Sula. Like things are looking great. And I know obviously there's been a lot of criticism now, and I think it's warranted because what have we been doing? And it seems like how are we still strapped for cash when you
Mm.
talk about getting in the securing a spot in the Champions League, when you talk about the Club World Cup and the money made from that, like how it's just year after year after year, no matter what, it's just like still strapped for cash. And I don't think that's I know some like there's criticism for Kale and not having the money to spend, but in like the board, but I think that comes down to that's higher than Kale, I guess. If he doesn't get the blessing or the money to spend, then yeah, how is he supposed to bring in players? It's something we face year after year. And when they
Yeah,
brought
but
in,
this year's been particularly strange, I mean, Svensson was already in on a loan. So, I mean, if you want to count him as a signing, whatever, I mean, really, it's only Job
yeah,
as being that one signing. And, um, I'm not saying there needs to be 100 million signings or 50 million evaluations or anything like that, but it's strange because we did end up qualifying for the Champions League, which is a lot more extra income. Talk about the Club World Cup. We went to the quarterfinals of that as well. So, I don't know the exact numbers of that, but it certainly was another financial boost. And then on top of that, within that same calendar month, you have the sale of Jamie Gittins, which was what,
yeah,
almost 70 million within itself.
yep.
So the fact that we've had one signing, at least this summer, is just a little bizarre.
Yeah, it seemed like a promising start getting Job in early. Obviously, they brought him in to have some more for the Club World Cup, but like that was a good early sign of what I thought things to come, and then oh, um, yeah, and then nothing. Like where's and
Mhm.
I want it like where's the like you said it doesn't we're not trying to we don't need to spend a ton of money on players. We don't need to make big splashes of cash, but like where are the other players similar to the Svensson profile? Like where is the center backs in that range where
And just like the balls from our sporting department, from Kale and his staff around him to find more of these Svenssons, because Dortmund
yeah,
is known for that. And it's not just the younger players, but just identifying that talent for smaller fees, and look at like Leverkusen these last 2 years. Yes, they've had plenty of income from the sale of Verts and Frimpong. Yet there's other ones too, but you look at a lot of these other. I'll freeze for a second. Oh my! Oh, what a save! Am I a little ahead of you?
yeah.
Sorry about that. I'll pause for 2 seconds.
Oh gosh,
All right, I paused for 3 or 4 seconds
I'm
there.
on 24 10, 24
Okay,
11
okay,
12.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you look at these other signings from Leverkusen, and a lot of them are what 2 million, 10 million. Yes, there's like some other one, Tillman, Malik Tillman, U.S. international was about like 35, a little over that. But a lot of these other ones, not big. Those are Dortmund signings you would see in the past,
Yeah.
and it's not just Leverkusen either.
Yeah, and I mean the Svensson signing, like in identifying him and bringing it and then getting it done, like yeah, that's fantastic. Like why? So it's like cool. You still kind of got it. And I know we also brought it Deant Ramage, the goalkeeper mentioning who's on loan at Heidenheim now. Like that's another one where for the future, and I'm glad that he's on loan at a Bundesliga club. Um, I don't know he would like that wasn't that expensive either, and so and that's fine to do that like
Uh-oh.
for a future move, but there's positions where we need now, like we need help now, and I know
Right.
it looks like they've been looking more at some center backs, but like, why wasn't that a priority earlier? And there's been talks with signing Fabio Silva, and I'm like, what is the point of that? Why are you trying to get another striker? Unless like there's something imminent happening with Girassi or Bayer, which I haven't seen
Yeah.
anything about. So like, why are you bringing in another striker when
I,
we
yeah,
need center backs?
Fabio Silva's another bizarre one too, and I understand there's a lot of nuance there. Like you look at his per 90 stats on any source you want, and it's not super flashy or anything like that. Yeah, sure, and there's more nuance to that, and I understand the versatility in his player profile, and he could play off of Garcia a bit, sure.
Ooh,
But still, you look at the fee for that, and you're like, what's the rumored fee? 25, 27, something along those lines, and it's like, is are we really wanting to? Because I think we're, from the reports I've seen, we're on a pretty strict budget of 30 at the moment, and we're putting
it's
90,
crazy.
93% of that into a single player that's a backup striker and also isn't even putting up great numbers to begin with. I mean, Fabio Silva, yes, he's only 23 years old, but he's also been at the top level for 5 years now, and really has only found form very recently in his last loan spell. You know, another
Where
great
was he?
example of like other teams with their investment. You look at like Frankfurt. If anybody didn't see their 4 win over Bremen today, they lost to lose Marmouche and Ekatike, two of some of the hottest attackers in
Yeah,
European football at the moment. And you still look this complete of a team. They invested very, very well with the funds that they got as well. I think Jonathan Burkhardt is a great pickup despite him not scoring today. Ritsu Doan too, a great signing from Freiburg. Their whole attacking line, Uzun too. I mean, that is a complete team. I don't know what their depth looks like without doing a little bit more research, but again, just similar signings you would see Dortmund making
yeah.
a few years
And
ago.
on like I know Leverkusen brought in Joel Kwanzaa, center back from Liverpool. Um,
Mhm.
and I think he was maybe closer to 45. Like, so pretty, probably a lot more than Dortmund want to spend on a center back. But like, why can't we be in the race for that? Like, again, yeah, maybe it's the price thing, but that's a player who he didn't always play in the Premier League with Liverpool. He was more a backup, but a very young, very good center back who could have slotted in to this team if they were willing to kind of spend a little more, like be competitive in the market for something like that. And the fact that we've needed center backs for the last few years, like why not? Like I don't know if that's exactly, it's obviously not exactly who they wanted, but that's where like I just want to be a little more competitive and to have a player like his profile come in would be fantastic. And he even scored today. He scored for Leverkusen today.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, oh god, slipping on the
You're still
brakes.
behind me. I paused.
I'm at 28, 30,
Oh my god.
35, 30.
Okay.
I told you, I told you my Wi-Fi wasn't great.
I know mine's not at the moment either, which is perfect for a live watch along, eh?
Yeah, which if anyone's, I mean, now my mic's cut out. If anyone's been a part of the live stream or the watch the podcast before, I'm not in my typical setting. My wife and I are visiting the in-laws this weekend, so I did give Carver a heads up. I'm like, I don't know if my Wi-Fi is going to be that great for a stream, but clearly it's not. And I'm streaming and watching the
Watching on a
game,
separate. Sure, sure.
taking up so much Wi-Fi.
The ball recovery time, that's a stat that they're probably always going to point to when everything else is disappointing for Dortmund so far. Yes, it's half of what St. Pauli has, but also we both got the same amount of shots. I guess we have generated more on target, but it's not like Pauli hasn't had their chances. I'm going to throw it in our Discord here in about 10 minutes about the trivia here, too. Didn't spend my afternoon at work making this, so it's just going to be you, okay?
You, you can't just have me missing every answer for all the work you put in.
Yeah.
Oh, that should have been a goal. I mean, oh, what a save! But come on, guys.
This is when he kind of leaned down there for a minute. I don't know why I thought. I'm gonna message in the chat. What do we see happening this season for our club? Well, we talked about the lack of investment or spark that we've been wanting to see this summer so far. So that leaves me a bit concerned. And I also have a quick quote from Niko Kovac in an interview actually just about 2 weeks ago, and he said it's all about maintaining the stability that we built towards the end of last season. I have a lot of faith in this team, but you also have to put everything into perspective. I don't want to set the bar too high or be disappointed. So the mentality from the coaching staff, as well as you see from the business side being a little bit more underwhelming, has tempered my expectations a bit. I already wasn't thinking we were going to be in first place, but I'm imagining we land in second or probably more likely even third, depending on what we can invest maybe in the winter and how Leverkusen play under Ten Hag. Oli Werner got smashed by Bayern, as you know, probably just yesterday. So hopefully they can continue to crumble and become irrelevant, and we can play above them. But yeah, I'm not sure how confident I feel in securing that second place spot this season. Jacob, anything from you?
Oof. I mean, I was kind of talking about it when we started, and even given my score predictions, it's like my expectations are so low. It's like I forget what it feels like to even be close to the race. So yeah, I hope we're really competitive in the top four, and I mean, again, fighting for the Bundesliga title would be fantastic. I don't know, and
Yeah,
even seeing
yeah.
Bayern yesterday just destroy who was it? Who was the opener against? But 6-0 looked terrifying. So that's really encouraging.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Leipzig and Bayern, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd like to also see a deep Pokal run. We mentioned this about 15 or so minutes ago. That Dortmund has obviously not won the Pokal in several years, but we also haven't had a deeper run in a while either. So that has to be, it has to be just better in that competition as well. I mean, losing out to, I think it was Wolfsburg early in the Pokal campaign last year is just unacceptable. And we've had some other disappointing exits here in the past few years as well. Didn't we get knocked out by St. Pauli under Rosa as well a few years ago? I'm pretty sure we did. 3-0 is very complimentary. I appreciate that. I'm hoping we can get the shutout. Ah! Let's
Dang
go!
it. Why does my stream keep getting behind?
Sorry. I'm sorry, Jacob. I keep pausing it for you. Come on!
What is happening? It's great. I
Okay.
can't even be mad.
I'm going to pause in the 5 seconds.
I'm at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17,
Okay.
18.
I'm right there with you again.
This is what we need, though. Just put it on his head. This is something.
What did Kovacic? How did he describe Girassi just 2 or 3 days ago? What did he say? Life insurance. That's man. The not
Is
so
that
subtle
you're flipping it
honesty
in?
about. Oh
So
man,
good.
that's a great cross though. It's a fantastic cross.
I
Well
know
done,
Sabitzer had
Sehu.
this could be a good season for Sabitzer. I mean, I know we're more on the fringes of having him out or exit the club. I know he was going through a lot of personal stuff last season. Um, so hopefully this year where he can bounce back. And
Yeah,
that's a good start.
spent a lot of money on him too, and he had a slow start to the season, both seasons really, but really picked it up in his first year towards the second tail end of the season, and helped us obviously in the deep Champions League run that we had. I'd be curious to see what he can do this year too.
I know there's a lot of the Dortmund incoming news. Most of the incoming news has been kind of centered around this Chukwuemeka. Like, are we going to get him or not? And I think I'm still. I liked what we saw from him in very limited appearances.
Mm-hmm.
Second half of last year, we didn't see him that much, but I thought what we saw was good. But if we have a Sabitzer who is back in form this year, and we still have Brandt, who maybe is more of a depth piece, and we have Mecha, and now we have Job. Like, do we need Chukwuemeka coming in? We haven't talked about it yet, but just announced before, like an hour before kickoff, Gio Reyna is officially off to Mönchengladbach. Maybe we can talk about him a little more at halftime. And I know that that's obviously a attacking midfielder out the door. So do we need to bring another one in? But again, like if you have Sabitzer, if he can, I don't want to say it's maybe too early to say continue his form, but if he can have a good season, do we need to bring another attacking midfielder in? I'm
I
not too sure with
I'd
Job.
if we're I'd take him just because of the pure number 10. You know, I'm
Yeah.
Sabitzer, Job, and even Gross. Yes, they can. Hold on, sorry. Hey, yes.
What is happening with my stream specifically? is my is is my stream just going at a slower speed? Like
It might be. It might be.
I'm not watching
I'm
it.
trying to see. There's a yeah. There isn't like an option to speed it up at all or anything like that. Or
Because you can watch playback at like 2 times speed. Like is mine at like just 0.95? Like it's just a little slower.
yeah. Man, I lost my train of thought. What were we even talking about? Oh, Sabitzer
It
and the
doesn't
number 10.
matter. Midfield.
Um,
I think
yeah,
that
they also have some qualities of a number 10, but they're primarily a number 6/8. Those box to box midfielders, and Chukwuemeka is clearly, in my opinion, just in his very short stint at Dortmund so far. I mean, he's levels above Brandt, at least in that guy's current form.
yeah.
So I mean, I like the idea of Chukwuemeka over Fabio Silva for sure. Um, and he played off of Girassi very well too, even as like a second number 9 at time. Chukwuemeka. I'll shut up so we can get.
What's your time at right now? I've just hit 38. Oh,
Yeah, yeah, I was ahead of you. I try not to react. We're shit.
what the hell? What? Come on, man.
Oh man, that was not a good penalty. That was very very savable height.
Yeah.
Somewhat predictable looking too with his body
But he
language.
usually
That's a
just
shame.
smashes it.
Yeah, he does. He's pretty clinical with that.
I
What
back on
a
the
shame.
Chukwuemeka and Brant. I think Brant is kind of the key in this. Like if you really see him, if you think you can get Brant back into a player he's been arguably been for us before. I know
Mm-hmm.
there's inconsistencies there, but if he can get back to being a top player, then I'd argue we don't need Chukwuemeka. But if you don't think that's really possible, then yeah, bring him in because we definitely need someone in that role. It just depends on can Brant do it this season or do we need to bring in Chukwuemeka?
Oh man, that's
Oh.
my heart's racing a bit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, just was that Mane? That was a good step.
Uh-oh. And then I'm just sitting there waiting for you to answer, and nothing happens.
What? Did you ask something? Or in the trivia?
No, I was just saying I can't wait for it to lag or crash during that, and then I'm just kind of
Oh.
looking at the screen waiting for you to answer, and nothing happens.
Uh, maybe that's just I'll use that to get out of answering.
Yeah. You're like, that's crazy. I can't even see you right now.
I think you cut out. I think we lost you again.
Yeah. Let's just cut the whole thing, man. Let's just scrap it.
I love how this big pile of confetti is just like slowly moving its way across the field.
Right. At least it's spreading out a little bit.
Shout out to St. Pauli for allowing so many away fans in. I mean, it looks like more than the average, but
That's a big stand, yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Bear from the St. Louis fan group, also a friend of mine who went to this fixture last year. Well, this calendar year still, I believe, but this past season. He's a St. Pauli and a Dortmund fan, so he got to go and witness a great fixture between the two, and even actually sat close to and briefly shook the hand of um, Matthias Sommer. And whenever he came back, he told me that, and I was like, "That's crazy. What are the odds?" Oh, Jeff, I don't disagree at all. Oh, Zach, that might be me. I apologize. I'm living in the city, so that's very likely me. My microphone picking that up. Let
I
me go ahead and
I
give myself a mute.
I did hear something. I thought I was just thinking it was in the match, but it could have been Carver.
I'm next to an interstate.
I don't think it's definitely not me. There's no police around in the
I could have, if we were playing Gladbach, I could have blamed it on their supporters, given that they have a siren that they play a lot during their game.
Well, what's going on in Hamburg right now? You never know. They have a big giant swing by the stadium, maybe. I don't know. It adds nice texture though, Carver, so
Yeah, it gives it a whole nother level of atmosphere. Why did it take me till just now to realize that's James Sands? I'm so disappointed in myself for St.
oh my
Pauli.
gosh. I forgot he went there. That's crazy.
I know. MLS, Bundesliga, and then back to, no, it's Bundesliga, MLS, then back to Bundesliga.
Wow, yeah, I did not until you said that, and then it showed him on the screen. To be fair, I also did not check the San Pauli lineup, so I. Oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I imagine I was ahead of you there, so again, I tried to hide my reaction.
If we
Wow.
scored, don't hide it, Carver. Just it's fine. I can't even be mad.
Svensson did just enough there. Oh my god. I'd like to see another look at that. What a shame for St. Pauli.
Shout out James Sands though, because I feel like sometimes you'll see guys go from MLS to anywhere in Europe and maybe it not work out, but I feel like if he's just kind of cruising under the radar, like maybe not on the national team radar, but good for him overall. Like good
Reminds
career
me of
move if he's
Patrick.
just kind of ticking.
Yeah, reminds me of Patrick Maloney, who has didn't go to the MLS, but another American international
Mm-hmm.
that kind of flows under the radar. Similar player profile, played for Heidenheim and now Mainz.
And Dortmund.
Jesus, yes, he did.
Dortmund to Heidenheim. Did you see Marius Wolf score today
I did.
for Augsburg?
Sancho Wagner. You've got a nice looking team there. Some young attackers. Nervous to keep turning my mic on in case something else flies down the.
I mean, it's that or my
I'll just
dog
shut up the
barking
rest of the
randomly.
stream. Is that
So
what you guys want? No, that's fine. I'll just shut up then. That looked painful. That looked really painful. Anyone that's in the chat right now, at halftime, we're going to do a trivia. It's going to have some general questions and then also guessing the player based off the badges that they played for. So feel free to stick around for that. Anyone can participate. I'm going to throw it on our screen here once this first half ends. Going into halftime, 1-0 up is sadly a little surprising, but in a good way. I thought we would be at like a 1-1 at this point or something along those lines.
Yeah, I did predict that St. Pauli was going to score first, so I am very happy to be wrong.
Haven't seen a lot from the likes of Job. Haven't seen much from Adeyemi. I know he won the penalty. Maybe I would think differently if Girassi converts it. But I'd like to see a bit more creativity coming on in the second half. Unlock St. Pauli a bit more.
I just realized.
See if Brandt can get some minutes in this.
Oh, man.
Kovac knows the answer to that. Good block there. Great block from Benzabaini. Should be one of the last few kicks of the half here. That's hilarious. You see them zooming in on someone shaking their keys. They said, that's awesome. That's got to be it.
Come on.
Not the most convincing, of course, but that's a lead that we can definitely work with going into the next half. Man, out of that 1.26, you got to take away the 0.7 for the penalty. It's not great. Again, we're lacking that creativity, really. St. Pauli found some chances, too. I can imagine at least one more of those in the second half. I don't know if they're going to be able to convert it. Kobo looks very focused and had a very crucial stop there towards the beginning. We'll see. Oops. In the meantime, I'll get this fired up here.
Yeah. Sorry, I was changing the. I realized more technical issues. Our YouTube said live show Freiburg and Barcelona, and I was like, what the heck?
Brilliant.
That's not. Even though I can change the title on our end, on the streaming end, to say watch along St. Pauli versus Borussia Dortmund. It still popped up as Freiburg and Barcelona. So maybe we would have some more people
A
watching if
blast
the
from the
show title was
past,
correct.
baby. Oh shit.
Oh man, love it. I'm just gonna run
All
through
right.
some match day scores today before. Well, give some maybe some people from our Discord time to jump in if they want to, if they can. Um, yeah, so Bundesliga today. Leverkusen lose 1-2 to Hoffenheim. Frankfurt, as we mentioned earlier, beat Werder Bremen 4-1. Heidenheim, as we mentioned, Deont Ramage, Borussia Dortmund goalkeeper, who's on loan at Heidenheim, gave up a PK, got a yellow card, and they lost to Wolfsburg 3-1. Freiburg lose to Augsburg 3-1 with Marius Wolf scoring a goal. Union Berlin beating Stuttgart 2-1. And then, of
Some
course,
surprising results.
yeah, a
Both of
lot
those,
of goals,
really.
a lot of goals, which is exciting for the league. And then just looking ahead to tomorrow, Mainz and Köln kick off the action tomorrow at 9:30 Central Time, and then Gladbach and Hamburger will play in the 10:30 match or 11:30 Eastern Time on Sunday. And in Gladbach and Borussia Dortmund news, we mentioned it briefly earlier, but we can talk about it just a little bit. Gio Reyna officially a Gladbach player, which they announced like an hour before kickoff. Timing is interesting because I wonder if he'll actually feature for Gladbach, and he's of
Yeah.
course linking up with his BFF Joe Scally from the U.S. Men's National Team. I was hoping this link up might happen at Dortmund. I've always liked Scally as a player, and I thought if he was a player we could get in the door at Dortmund, I wouldn't be too upset about it. Especially, I thought it could be good for Gio Reyna.
Mhm.
I know that we talked a lot about Gio Reyna over the last couple seasons. I love him as a player. Interested, but I think a lot of that is being a U.S. men's national team fan and just wanting to see him succeed and perform well. And obviously, he hasn't had the chance at all for Dortmund
He's had
lately.
chances.
He's had
He's had
chances, but
chances.
I don't know.
But
It's
yes, he has also for like the last 2.5 years, he's probably been not fit or injury ridden for 60% of that. So yeah, I understand the sentiment from both ends there, but it seemed inevitable for the last calendar year at least, and just time. If it's not siren obnoxious driving by, sorry about that. But yeah, and to get a fresh start. He's still young and was it 22, 21, 22. So we
mhm.
still got a lot of time a level that he's found himself already before at Dortmund, and I think him staying in the Bundesliga is actually a pretty smart move.
Yeah.
Gladbach, he could have a lot of support around him from the likes of Honorat. Him and Honorat can be, um, being the attacking threats that they are under Kleindienst too. I think is a pretty solid attack for Gladbach. It's just a matter of can he stay fit and can he stay focused. So that's kind of yet to be seen, even outside of Dortmund. For as much as the criticism that we get from the global soccer fan base, even for the national team, he's been completely absent for quite some time now too. So these issues he's been having, through his fault or not, they've become pretty apparent in all aspects of his professional football career for some time now.
Yeah, I'm excited for him as a player because again, I've been a fan of him as a player and as a person, so I'm excited for him to get a move that seems like he's needed. I am like really interested in the Dortmund fan perspective that isn't also a U.S. men's national team fan because I think if he wasn't a U.S. international and not a player that I just liked overall, like or in general outside of Dortmund, like I would probably be like, yeah, get this guy out. Like this guy needs to go because we're clearly not going to use him. So interested in that Bundesliga, general Bundesliga, or like Dortmund Dortmund outside of U.S. fan perspective too. But I am sad to see him go, leave Dortmund completely understand it, and at the same time I'm happy to see him go somewhere where maybe he can flourish and get some time that he needs.
Sure. All right. Well, howdy to Lisu. Howdy to everyone else here in the chat. This will just be a fun little quick thing that I made for some trivia questions. First round is just some general BVB knowledge. So go ahead and lock in here like Schlotterbeck. First question. I'll give you a few seconds, Jacob, and then anyone else to throw their answers in the chat. We still have Cole Campbell to flourish. Yeah, hopefully. You know, there's been rumors about him even being offloaded this summer. I'd like to see him get some more senior minutes for sure. All right, round one. Questions. Question one. What is roughly the capacity of the Sitribuna, also known as the Yellow Wall, in the Westfalenstadion?
I got this one.
Give you
I got this one.
15, 20 seconds. Hopefully we're not Googling here, anyone in the chat or anything like that. Throw in any number you think it is. Go ahead, Jacob.
Well, I hid the chat because I didn't want to see any answers. So I can't see the chat on my end because I'm pretty confident in this one. On other questions, I might need to cheat, though.
And just the Yellow Wall alone, Lisa.
Oh, just Yellow Wall.
What do you got, Jacob? Okay. Yeah, just in the Sitribuna.
Okay. I thought you meant the whole stadium, whole Westfalenstadion.
No.
Sitribuna is...
it's clearly right there.
If I count all the people, it is roughly...
just give me like 45 minutes.
25,085 full Westfalenstadion.
It is about 25,000. You are correct. And you know what's crazy? To put that in perspective, Jacob, that is bigger than
our whole stadium.
That is a bigger capacity than all of City Park, St. Louis City MLS Professional Soccer Club, which is just mind-blowing. An entire stadium is smaller than just that wall alone.
I think about that every time I watch a Dortmund match. When they show the Yellow Wall, I'm like, divide that by 4, put it on each side of the stadium. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep. Impressive stuff. Everyone's got to see it at some point in their life. Question 2. Who is Dortmund's all-time goal scorer? All time. Oh, it is. I'll wait a few seconds, and if I don't see any answers in the chat, I'll give a somewhat of a hint. Up in the clouds.
What?
I just saw you kind of looking up, thinking.
Yeah.
I'll give you about 10 more seconds to think. If anybody else has any answers in the chat. He is not from this era.
Carver, make sure you shout out the people who get it right in the chat, too.
Sure, yeah, I'm looking. They haven't played. Yeah. Royce is just shy. Correct. Royce is number 2. Way before I was born, anyway. Yes, very, very likely. That is probably the case. It's Alfred Preisler.
Ooh.
177 goals. He played for Dortmund in the 1940s and the 1950s. And just shy, correctly, Sue, is Marco Royce. I believe Royce has 170. And then just below him in third place is Mikhail Zorc.
I knew it wasn't Royce. And I knew Zorc was on there somewhere, so that was going to be my guess, was Zorc. But
good stuff.
I don't know
I appreciate the engagement either way. Yeah, well, all before we were born, right? Dortmund legend, but also in the time of literally World War II, essentially. All right, here's a good one for the Dortmund fans in the chat here. How many Bundesliga titles have Dortmund won in its history? In total, just the Bundesliga titles, no Pokal or Champions League, anything like that. Just the Bundesliga. If anybody has any guesses for the people in the picture too, they can throw that out there. I know there's obviously, that's Hummels here. Second from the right.
Those sunglasses are crazy. Those glasses that are just bars. Blocking
Right.
50% of your
It's
vision.
very, and this is around that same time. It's very 2010, you know? He's just said 4, maybe 5. Jacob, any guesses?
I want to say 8, but I don't know. Is
A
that
few
me
more
being
seconds
hopeful?
here. I had one guess in the chat. Appreciate, yeah.
I really need to clean up on my Dortmund history. Guys, I know I'm a failure. Shooting off fake stats. Don't even know a history.
You should have more confidence in yourself because you, oops, uh-oh. There we go. You are correct, sir. It is
It was
8.
in there somewhere. It was in there somewhere.
Not enough. At least you said the correct answer is not enough, and that is in fact correct, actually. Yeah, the two most recent now, well over 10 years ago, during the Jurgen Klopp era, 2011, 2012 season was the most recent one. We came strikingly close, within striking distance, a handful of years since. Obviously, under Terzic just 2 years ago, whenever we botched it at home, and then before that, I think the closest we got, if I'm not wrong, was the 18-19 season under Lucien Favre, when we were just 1 point behind Bayern Munich that year.
Well,
We were
what was
9
the
points
no?
ahead at the beginning of the season in the Hinrunde, and then we ended up botching a handful of losses in the Rückrunde, and then ended up losing to Bayern Munich.
What was it? 2020? Was it 2023 when we lost on goal differential? Did you mention that?
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, it was.
rough.
All right. Who did Marco Reus score for? Excuse me. Who did Marco Reus score his first league goal against for Dortmund in 2012? It is currently a Bundesliga team. His first
this
goal
photo from
just
that?
in the Bundesliga. What's that?
Is this photo that goal?
It is not. No, this was during the 18-19 season. It's not Gladbach, but that's a really good guess.
That's
because he did score very, very early into his Dortmund career against Gladbach. It was the brace, I believe he got. The first one. The second one was a banger.
That's
a great
what
guess.
my guess was going to be. Just for the pure
throw out another
one
if you got. And you can throw out more than one guess as well, Lisu. Any guesses, Jacob? I had to fact check it as well. I thought it was initially before I went to fact check these.
You said it's currently a Bundesliga team. So I'm going to say because of that random fact that you threw out. I mean, maybe there's nothing to it, but I'm going to say it's a team who's gone up and down a couple times. So I'm going to say Köln.
It's Werder Bremen.
Looks like Mecha is subbing on at the half, by the way.
Yeah, we're getting close here.
Got Polestar.
I got one more question in the general, and then we'll have a few badges, and then we'll wrap this up. I'll speed it up here. Who was the most recent Dortmund player to win one of these bad boys, the Bundesliga Player of the Season?
Oh, man.
Gotten I'll say more than one of these in the last 6 years. But who do we think got the most recent one?
Oh, man.
Give me just a quick guess.
I'll say Holland. I don't think that's right, but I'm going to say Holland.
Holland did win a Bundesliga Player of the Season for Borussia Dortmund. It was not the most recent one. It's Jude Bellingham.
That was going to be my next guess. Shoot.
Yes, sir. His last season for us when he was going crazy.
We could. I'll say this real quick. We could save the badges for post match if you want to come back to it.
You want to do it during the match?
We
Or is
could.
that too much stimulant?
I think there's too much going on. I
Okay,
already
give
can't
me
keep
one
up
more
with my
question
stream.
then.
Mm-hmm.
Brief in this year. Been promoted a handful of times. They're now what is essentially the third division. There is no three Liga like for the men's team or the men's divisions. Goes Bundesliga, Bundesliga 2. Maybe that was too much of a clue there.
Are you talking like what the league is? I was going to say the third division, but you just said that.
Oh, sorry. I should say more specifically, what's the name of the league?
That's too hard. I can't pronounce anything. I can't remember it.
The Regionalliga West, which is the same for the men's. Regionalliga, there's Nord, Sud, West, and we're in the Regionalliga West, but just think Frauen as well in addition to that title. That was the last of my general questions, I believe. Let me double check. Yep. Round 2 is guess the player based on the badges, and we can pick that up after the game, and that only takes a few minutes too if anybody wants to stick around for that. I'm also hoping for Bundesliga 1 as well. Hopefully that'll be very soon. They've gotten promoted every year that they've played so far. Thank you everyone that participated. We got a fun second round here once we pick back up. But in the meantime, I'll go ahead and toss this back.
So Julian Brandt.
Yeah. Looking forward to seeing you afterwards too, Lisa. Thank you for checking in.
So Julian Brandt subbed in for Adeyemi and Mecha on for Joe Bellingham. So it's kind of what we mentioned with the lineup before, like the two interesting ones. Like a little surprised not to see Brandt or Mecha, and now we're getting them both at the half. Do you? When you're kind of talking about Job a little bit during that half, like just a little invisible for some of it.
Yeah, I didn't see too much from him, to be honest with you.
Oh, come on.
Looking at his thing really that I remembered. I guess a little bit more on the defensive side of things. He got involved, but that's a hell of a shot, by the way.
Yeah.
On his left foot as well. It's a great save. Those saves are always fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Pushing it over the bar. Oh, I got to turn my noise or sound back on here for the actual game. There we go. St. Pauli didn't make any changes, right? I didn't have the game up whenever we came back, so. No, yeah, looks like the only two changes came from Dortmund.
Well, the last couple seasons is something we've always been critical of a little bit is substitutions, especially under the Shaheen era. So again, it's something I appreciate with Kovac is like he sees something he doesn't like, he's not afraid to make a change and correct.
Yeah. He's got the confidence in it, and he's also a bit more proactive as well. It wasn't only the decisions for personnel that I found bizarre, but also the timing of them too. And like you mentioned, Kovac is not afraid to change things early if he sees necessary. And yeah, he's a bit more proactive rather than reactive, which is a good quality to have as a coach. And it's something that you surprisingly don't see as often at a professional level, at least at this elite level. I don't know. Couldn't really play out of that one, could we? Uh-oh. Fuck! Are we? Not really.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be praising the subs. Come on.
Yep, I said they would generate another chance or two, similar to the quality of the chance they found in the first one. They just weren't able to actually put it away. Yeah, there was a slip from Svensson. Mane wasn't tight enough, really. He is very late with the jump as well. Damn it. That's just. But he also just needs to be more alert there. What a shame. Oof. All right, back to square one. Oh, that place is buzzing now.
Yeah.
Buzzing and bouncing. It's so early in the second half, too. Yeah, I'm hoping Mecha can control this midfield a bit more. He does look a bit more assertive. Building up in a 3-4, essentially. Maybe even a 3-3 with on the opposite side of the field. It was Akuto's really, really wide on the touchline almost.
Come on.
A lot of football to be played here now. Wonder how Pearson can do as well.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking that
know.
too. If you bring him in.
But also Kuto, I mean, he was one of the very few bright spots actually against Essen in the Pokal and in terms of his creative outlook and his end product. Rierson is, I mean, very underrated in his attacking qualities, but Rierson to be more of the choice if we are still 1-0 up, you know, or even 2-1
Yeah.
up.
How many times do we see that?
A lot, very often. This has to be a win, man, especially
Yeah.
it's first game of the season, yes, but also not Frankfurt, Leipzig and Leverkusen both dropped massive points. Um, Obviously, very, very tough to play in away at Bayern, sure, but you set the standard early on of being ahead of both clubs, one of them that finished above you in the table. Um, and Dortmund have been no stranger to struggling against sides of this quality, specifically teams that played in or around the relegation zone for the last entire season. So have to break out of this mindset and just do better against these sides.
It seems like if you actually want to turn the page on the last 2 seasons where we have poor starts and aren't able to really be the club that Dortmund expects to be, like the fans and the board, it's like this is where you got to start strong. You can't just, we can't go back to where we were. Like we've made the changes as far as getting coach in. Haven't made the signings, and now the signing we do make, we sub him off at halftime because he's not quite cutting it. And yeah, and I mean, back to we had the question from the Bayern View early in the show as far as like how do you see the season going, and I look to the signings as as just like, well, like what are we looking to change if we're not trying to refresh the squad, if we're not bringing in the players that we need to progress. It's like, yeah, we got in a better coach last year, we were able to finish in top 4, but there's still so many areas where we're falling short or we're just lacking depth and starters, and that's what other clubs do. Like they bring in new players to get better. How are we supposed to do that when we bring in one player and then we lose, we have more injuries over the summer? Like where's the progress being made?
No foul on Mane there. Yeah, if you look at the bench today for Dortmund, Maximilian Bayer is arguably really the only game changer in this squad right now. Brandt's already on the field. Gittins is gone. Durnville's hurt. Everyone else is already playing or unavailable. Which makes me nervous.
Yeah, it's hard to go into a season with a ton of confidence that you can actually take a step forward when you're not bringing players in. It's just it feels so stagnant. And so like it's where it's like, why do I expect anything different? Why do I expect like a fully, like just a positive year ahead when we're not making the moves necessary to advance? Not to say I'm not excited that Dortmund's back, but I'm like, part of me's a little like, all right, are we gonna do anything?
Too. I'm very excited. But yeah, here we are.
Doesn't fill me with a lot of hope.
Oh God.
You gotta be kidding me.
How many years in a row now have we on the verge of either conceded or been on the verge of conceding a goal through our own build-up?
Yeah.
Oh my God, they're flowing with confidence at the moment. Got to get a grip of this game. It's just Girassi up there as well.
This is where, again, in moments like this, I'm trying to think like who on the pitch is that? Who's that leader that can really just rally the guys around and really take command and control of the game? And I'm like,
right.
I don't see it.
I know.
Like,
honestly, I mean, Gross isn't
experience
I don't know him
wise
personally, obviously, but he's.
I don't see him as personality wise.
Player,
yeah.
Right. I mean, you could argue Anton. Yes. But man, outside of that, I completely agree.
We didn't mention it in the lineup, but Koble does have the captain's armband, and
Yeah.
um, I think it's some of the similar conversations we were having last year, like who is the captain on this team, who's the real leader, and we did see Brant get their armband a few times. It was Chan, and we know how that's been, and with Kovac coming in, he obviously lost his position. I know he's still injured right now too, and I'm not saying I want Chan to come into this side and be that leader right now, if because from a player standpoint or an ability standpoint, I don't know if he has that quite anymore. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but who is that? Who takes the armband right now, or
I was thinking
that
about that
that
just yesterday.
responsibility?
Man, because like if it's not Koble, it's got to be Anton, and both are not the same, but they're in a very similar position
Yeah,
geographically on the field.
yeah, and
You know,
that's
and I
what
know
I'm.
Shaheen was wanting more of a field player to be the captain, and he's not here. But I mean, outside of the back line and Koble,
Yeah,
there really isn't that, like you mentioned, that veteran. Maybe veteran's not the word, but organic leader
hmm
in the midfield or attack.
yeah, and I have no problem with Kobo having the armband, like when it comes to actually wearing the armband. But it's like in moments like these, in matches like this, where we need someone to just kind of take control. You need that in the middle of the park.
Well done to play out of that. It's just no one up there with Giracy. He has to have someone to run off of. It's not going to be Brandt, and I don't think it's going to be Kuto either. It's got to be a buyer here. We got to see him in the
Yeah,
next 5 to 10 minutes.
wonder if it's Buyer, bring Buyer on for Gross, maybe.
Bring him on for Brandt. I hear you though. We still have 3 6s or 8s on the field.
I mean, Rierson could fire some guys up if he can come on.
Yeah.
I don't know how many minutes he has. Maybe 20. Maybe see him coming on a little later.
Gross getting up really high there. Oh, thought Metro was going to turn and shoot. What second are you at?
45, 46,
Okay.
47. I did restart my stream. I exited out and refreshed just to see if that helped.
Oh. Oh, Gross did well to ride that challenge. Oh,
Commenters curse. Jeez.
there's another late challenge from Kurto. He's going to get a yellow. Yeah, it's actually surprising. He actually did get the ball first. Jesus Christ. Whew. Thought that was in. Did you somehow fall behind again?
What?
Did you somehow fall behind again?
No, I think I was on. I was.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I probably will, of course,
Yeah.
but
Now that's a foul, and that has to be a yellow card as well. Oh no, that's a tactical foul. He pulled him. Still don't see any signs of subs. I mean, outside of Bayer, I don't really know who else we bring in here.
yeah. How
I
long
mean,
has it
maybe
been since we've?
Rierson. I don't know how fit he is. I don't know
How
if
long has it
Cole
been since we've
Campbell's
had
ready or
a
not. I haven't seen
shot?
him. Yeah, gonna get pushed back here. Oh, yes! Oh, come on!
You're still ahead of me, but dang it.
Pausing.
Anton, are you how? 25, 26, 27, 20. All right, there we go. Anton, that's what you do. Just score and then yell at people.
Whew. I thought Gross was gonna whip in a cross right there with his second touch. That's a good find from Svensson. I don't know how he found that gap.
Nice little let off too. Oh man.
Is that a deflection, right? I want to see.
No? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well done. It is a good play there. That you had good awareness to not only find Anton, but recognize that there's an opportunity to shoot there by kind of just laying it off into his feet and backing up. Now, who do we see? Does that change the plans?
I mean,
Kind of against the run of play, too. You know, I mean,
yeah. Well, we were just saying
yes,
how
like I
how
mean
long
that
has it
was it
been?
was a well worked, yeah, it's a well worked play, but it's been a lot of St. Pauli this half. Still, I mean, I should be curious of what the possession is like. Actually, possession is pretty shocking. So completely the other way around. Doesn't feel like it, that's for sure.
No, it seems like it'd be a good time to bring Rierson in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd be curious to see how much he could do. Well, look, and only 20 minutes here. I think the 15 to 20 range. Usually, if you were in the squad, you could do something along those lines. Usually. Mm. It'll be a nervy last 20.
Yeah.
Definitely in the last 10 minutes, that's for sure.
So I'm saying bring Rierson on. Be a little more defensive. Until he
As
decides
much
to
as
run.
Kuto's actually been pretty competent this game.
Yeah.
He's on a yellow, Ugh. Cheeky turn. Where are you at now?
20, 21, 22, 23. I'd just be having little like micro lags.
I'm having those too, but I think it's resetting back to live because I'm pausing. That's probably what's happening all the time. Oh, yeah, just a big lag, and I think I jumped ahead there. You said 2-1, right?
Yeah.
You did.
We'll probably score another.
Didn't have St. Pauli scoring first, but excuse me. Here's you got ripped down there. Oh, it's a good turn. Ah. That's a good run. That's well timed. Yes! I swear he's onside. Gonna pause again for so. Sorry.
You're good, dude. Hey, don't tell me if he's offsides.
Okay.
God, that was nice.
Almost identical to the Hoffenheim goal that
Yeah.
he got.
See?
Well done.
Come on, Brant.
I said 3-1, by the way.
Can be off to a good start. Brant.
Let's see. It looked well timed. Let's see.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
well
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Both of them are.
Both of them. Easy.
Thank
So good.
God Girassi let it go as well because he was
Yeah.
really slowing down, and I was like, oh boy.
Wow. Crazy touch.
Well struck as well.
So good. Brant boys, back. Run it
Never
back.
left.
Whoever said Brant boys were dead were idiots. A bunch of idiots.
Yeah, it wasn't
You
us.
didn't even know.
Uh-huh.
Lisu in our Discord. Brant's back, baby.
still feel St. Pauli might get one.
Have they?
This could very well easily end as a 3-2 win, which 3 points. But maybe hopefully I'm wrong, you know. But again, St. Pauli has been playing pretty well despite conceding 2 goals this second half. That big burst of energy coming out of the gate
Yeah.
was huge. Generated 5 shots, 2 on target the second half alone for St. Pauli.
This doesn't look like any other subs coming on yet.
Yeah, still nothing from Kovac.
I know some people are just completely over Brain already, and I get it, and that's fine. But really good for him to come in and score in this match.
Oh yeah,
First game of the season.
to produce more. So what a way to start,
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about. I'm pretty sure last year he had on paper the best season he's had with Dortmund. Let me go ahead and double check that. Yeah, it was.
Which is crazy.
I mean, I should say, he only got 6 goals in all comps, but he did get the most assists in his entire career so far. But just on the eye test, very, very disappointing season. Yeah, I'd like to see Brent have a double digit in both goal contributions kind of season.
Yeah.
I don't think it's crazy to expect him to have 10 and 10, something like that. 20
Yeah.
goals contributions in all comps.
Go Saru.
But
Go Saru.
the kind of like
Oh,
5 and
that was way
9,
behind.
7 and 8, or 7 and 11 kind of seasons he's been having is not good enough. Here comes Girassi down here on the right hand side. It's not a great third touch. Shit. I'm pausing.
I think I'm ahead of you actually on now.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. All right.
Mine just had a crazy glitch, but it put me ahead. 79, 11, 12, 13.
Oh, yeah. Now I'm 10 seconds behind you, but that's okay.
10?
That's okay.
I'm
Don't
not
worry
going to
about
react at all. You deserve it.
it. 10 minutes to go here. Be quite a big win.
In Lone Watch news, Kjellvetchen
That's out.
is getting a start for Bochum against Schalke. They kick off at 1:30.
Ooh.
So,
Ooh.
when
Riviera Derby there.
Yeah, when this match wraps, you want to watch some more football. Yeah, he'll be starting.
I'd throw that on my TV in the other room. I might do that.
Yeah, that is. I did check. It is on ESPN Plus, so you'll be able to flip over that right after this. So,
okay,
if
bet.
you need some more football, and I almost said Pascal Gross, Felix Paslak, starting with Bochum as well. Not on loan. He's just there.
Man,
But
man, I think he would be a really fun signing for St. Louis. Paslak.
I could.
You talk about a player that fits that energy drink play style. Someone that can contribute in the final third, who has the energy to track back and I mean, I'm not by any means saying he's like a great defender, but he fucking the few times he's played against Dortmund for Bochum, he's been arguably their best defender and shut down a team of this elite level quality. I don't know. That'd be fun, man. That would be fun. Something I've been fantasizing about from time to time.
Hey, this ain't a St. Louis podcast, and I can speak
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. This random club that neither of us support. Oh, that's a great hit. That's a great double save.
Now I actually need to pause now because I'm still ahead of you. What's your time at?
81, 47, 48, 49. Oh, what are we looking at? Sorry.
Maybe a foul. Hopefully not.
He's gonna go look. I said I could see this game ending 3-2.
Holding him back a little bit, Mane. Come on, man. It's gonna be a Koulibaly incident. I think they're gonna give it. Gotta be kidding me.
I gotta see it again. It's fucking Mane again. Oh, he didn't look at that long at all.
What is up with our young center backs?
Fucking red cards. Good lord.
It wasn't. Didn't Kabar get a red
Yes, he
card
did.
last season too?
Yeah, he's a left back, but he did. Jesus Christ. Holy Christ.
That friggin' sucks. Like, not even necessarily in the outcome of the game, but like, again, you look at Koulibaly, you get Kabar. Like, how's this keep happening with her?
was easy. Oh, are you typing?
Yeah, I was gonna
No, go
I was
ahead.
gonna
Go
drop
ahead.
the link in there and say, well, you're on the admin account, so you can drop it in there. I was just gonna say join for like some post match thoughts
Yeah.
and some more trivia. But get some people's post match reactions.
It's one thing to be only having a narrow lead in the last 5 minutes, but now to be a man down. Oh, here comes the man of the hour, Sully Özcan. Here we go. Also, Sully Özcan, another signing I'd like to have at St. Louis. Desperate for a number 6 and I mean, as much as I love Thomas Totland, he's not favored clearly as the right back.
It's crazy you just keep talking about these random things and
Yeah.
this random team I've never heard of.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look, we did the same strategy here. Oh my god. Conceding, or excuse me, losing a 2-goal lead in the last 5 minutes is so Dortmund. Heart's already in my throat. Oh god. I'm sick. I'm going to throw up. That's a little fun addition for this live stream here towards the end. However many people can catch it.
See Carver
Here we
throw up
go.
live.
That's what we'll
I'm gonna
name
be
the live streams from now on.
kidding me.
Watch me throw up. Here it comes. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Oh my god. Fuck! Oh my god. We're so fucking back. Oh my god.
What are we doing?
That is such a good finish. Oh, Christ. They say we didn't anticipate this at halftime. Have you watched Borussia Dortmund before? Yep. It was the
10
red
minutes
card
stoppage
too,
time.
man.
I will not be watching the ESPN post match because I just can't. I never can usually, but especially in times like this.
Absolutely. Jesus Christ.
Alex Dawson in the Discord. One game in, and I'm ready to end it.
Oh my God.
I know we're a man down, but we gotta get some kind of control.
Jeez, 10 fucking minutes, bro. Are you kidding me? No reinforcements for the center halves, though, guys. Don't worry about it. You know, in our first game of the season, we have Sully Özcan playing as center back as our debutant, who is a teenager, got a red card. No enforcements needed. No reinforcements needed for the back line whatsoever. Kale has got it under control. Yeah. Have you guys ever heard of Fabio Silva? Yeah. 10 goals in La Liga last year? Yeah. Oh, Christ. That should have been a goal right there.
Oh.
I'm just amazed that we still haven't seen Maxi Bayer. No one to run up. There's just no one to run up here. Kovac, I think, is settling in for a draw. Brandt's not going to get up there. He doesn't. He's just not fast enough. Certainly not going to be the Savitzer of the Mechas, and Girassi drops too deep. My stream lagged a bit. What second are you at?
4:31, 2,
Okay.
3.
Now I'm ahead of you again.
Oh man, this goal is crazy.
Oh, Brandt turns around. What the fuck was
What are
that?
you doing? Oh my gosh.
Fucking corner. Oh, thank God.
Mane will be out at least next game too, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. Really, really good. Mm.
Man, it's going to be real hard to be cheery about this trivia right after, let me tell you.
Trivia is
This is
canceled.
supposed to be fun. Yeah, trivia is canceled.
We don't have to do trivia. Oh my gosh. We can flip over to Bochum in Schalke. Just start talking about that game.
Yeah. Oh, Christ. 2 more minutes. Anyone that's in here, we're going to do some more trivia and post-match thoughts right after. Feel free to participate, stay and participate for that. Trivia questions will be just got a few rounds of that because we didn't finish the trivia at halftime. I was just about to say Brandt's not going to win that header, and he actually did, and that's not a great first touch from Garcia, and we lose the ball. Oh.
Oh no.
Excuse me?
Oh man.
What do we got here? What is this?
Great, of course. Always. Well.
Classic.
Well.
ESPN.
It's okay. I don't know if I want to see the rest of that anyways.
Oh, what a shame, man. Guess I'll go on my fucking phone.
I don't know if that's gonna work either. Let's just pull up FOP.
No, I'm just saying on FOPMob.
Yeah. 100th minute. Okay, just came back. That's it.
Shit.
Full time.
Oh, is it?
3-3. Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. God, we. Ugh.
That's really disappointing.
Alex.
To blow a 2-goal lead. I
What's
know.
up?
I know. Kovac is gonna give the team an earful, but can you hear me?
Yep, you're back.
Sorry about that. Sorry, everyone. Heartbreak every time is correct. Sorry about that, everyone. My screen crashed, but let me go ahead and pull the trivia back up. There we go. All right.
All right,
If
let's have
anybody
some
has any
fun.
post-match thoughts to throw them in here, yeah, feel free to throw it in the chat.
Yeah, let us know. We'll
Just
we'll
not
get
good
through
enough.
your post match thoughts and reactions. If you just let us know, we'll
Yeah,
read those out.
I'll give everyone another minute or two before we start here, but it's just not good enough, man. It's very similar to the Pokal game. You know, these are sides that have a fraction of our budget, even though we don't apparently use our budget. Um, relegation sides we continue to struggle against. This one is no different. It's too predictable. There's not enough reinforcements going forward either. I mean, you look at the bench, we only had Bayer as a game changer in there, and he didn't even come on. And you look at those games when whether we have a red card or not, we didn't have the numbers going forward in those last 20 minutes. You know, yes, Brent had a great strike of the ball, but there's just no one to chase down that ball. There's no one to make runs off the ball. There's no one to link up with Girassi and do overlapping runs or overloads. It can't happen. You have Brandt, Sabitzer, and Gross making runs off of Girassi, which are just it's unacceptable. Just in case there are children listening, that's a good one. All right. If
But
we don't got anything else, Jacob, do you have anything?
well, I got a couple things. Shout out to Schlotty is him on Discord. Says not good enough. Our lack of defensive depth costs us the game today. If we don't have to play Mane, we don't lose. An experienced player is never making a stupid foul like that. Um, it's just, I mean, we talked. Sorry, my mic's going all over the place.
You're good.
We talked about it earlier in the match too. Is just like my thoughts and the overall thoughts going into the season, and it's hard to again get excited. It's hard to think things are going to be different. It's hard to think we can actually have real progression when we're not making the changes or bringing new players in. And when if the board wants to talk about our spending versus other clubs or the amount of money we make, and it's like, but we're not spending it. We like how we brought one player in for around 30 million, and it seems like we reluctant to spend any more than that when we know there's been sales. Jamie Gittins double that, and
Club World Cup,
Club
Champions League
World Cup money.
qualification.
And like we clearly we've needed these reinforcements for the last 2 seasons. You need reinforcements. You need to be freshening up the squad every year, and it's like we can't do that at all.
We've had 3 fit center backs for this is now 3 calendar years in a row. I've spent 2 years at this apartment and then another entire year at the previous apartment of us recording the same shit 3 years ago of saying that this team does not have the defensive depth to compete at the levels that we need to be competing at. And clearly the depth is not also just in the back line either. It's again, I mentioned this needs to be in the attack as well.
And I mean, it's so tough for Mane, like stupid foul. Don't make that foul. But I understand like they're about to score too. That's why you get a red card for it. But when you look at, we talked about it earlier, Koulibaly getting a red card, and I think his debut, Kabar, who is a left back and center back, not a center back. I'm saying he left back also had a similar situation where he's got a red card. Like these young players are coming in and then having really poor starts, and I don't even think that's on them necessarily. It's like he has to start because we're again our lack of depth, and like hopefully he's a guy you could. It just shouldn't be on him to. I don't want to trash him too much. I know like Koulibaly kept getting sent out on loan, and I kept thinking like, why are we sending him out on loan when we need more defenders? And I know a lot of the fan base and was already writing him off because of a moment like this, and now I don't want Mane to have to struggle with this moment and this always be on his mind and not be able to recover from this because it's such a poor way to start your season. I don't think it's on him necessarily. I'd put way more stock and or way more pressure and blame on the people making decisions and not
Yeah.
bringing more players in because this is crazy. And now we're going to be without another center back next match because he misses with a red card. So I don't know what that situation looks like. And When when Alex said it earlier, like heartbreak again, it's like it's just another reminder. Like, yeah, we're Dortmund fans, and I don't want to start off so negative and be so down at the start of the season. But even when we go down a red card, we give up the goal. Like we're still in the like we it's not tied yet. We still had a 1 goal lead. So why can't we just hunker down? Why can't we put some more defenders in? And that's probably because we don't have any. Like we can't
Yeah.
sub anyone else on. Like would argue you could have brought Rierson in. I don't know if even know if I want to go after Kovac so much, but I don't. I think it falls a lot more on the mentality of the players to not be able to like see this game out, even when you're a man down. I've seen so many games where
2 goal
teams
lead too.
teams go a man down and are just able to just bunker in. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can be harder to play against a team who's 10 men down, playing 10 men behind the ball, defending with 10 men, than to I don't know, that can be hard to break down too. So I don't know why we can't do that. And I do put that on mentality of players. And if you have these players who aren't getting challenged because you're not bringing in new guys to push them to really fight for their starting position, or even like we need play we need players. It just comes
We
down
need
to that
players.
all the time. We need players.
We need
You're one
players.
you're one
I'm
player
on
you
a
brought in to be a creative midfielder option get subbed off in the first 45 because he's not quite there, and that's
yeah
fine too. But we have no one else. Like that's what you spent on one player who can't go 45. Like he wasn't ready.
against a team who barely made, you know, the qualifications to not get relegated last year. But I'm on a bit of a time constraint here, so I do want to get if anybody has any answers here for this second part of the trivia. So all of these players for this last round have played for Dortmund at some point. You'll see that as a reoccurring theme, but I'm just going to give you the badges and their timeline of their career, and then you're just going to guess that player of who you think that is, obviously. Jacob, you ready?
Yep.
All right.
Rant over. Let's have some fun.
First one. Oops, sorry, I'm on the wrong page. LOL. There we go.
Oh my god. I don't even know what that last
Started
club
with
is.
Mainz. It's all going to go left to right, top to bottom. Started with Mainz, Leverkusen, Chelsea, Wolfsburg, Dortmund, Fulham, and then Sparta.
Sparta. Oh, I have no, I have no clue. I'm trying to think this Wolfsburg did BVB move, but and then I guess the full.
It's a German international.
I have no.
He's now retired. He's a World Cup winner. And we spent a lot of money for him. Not seeing any answers in the chat yet.
If you have,
I'll give everyone a few more seconds.
yeah, if you have no clue, let us know that in the chat as well.
Any guess at all, Jacob?
I got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Andreas Schürrle. I don't know if you remember much of him. He was pretty uneventful here at Dortmund, but he did have a few big Champions League goals. But for the most part, we definitely overspent on him, and he jumped from a handful of clubs before and after us.
Carver's going deep cuts apparently, so
I'm trying to. Well, I wanted to make it a little bit difficult
for
for people, so it's not just too easy. Maybe next time, and I'd love to do this again because these are fun to make. I'll make it a little bit easier, I guess. All right. Next one. You're not going to get this one probably, Jacob, but Dortmund legend here.
Thanks for throwing
This
me under the bus,
Dortmund
Carver.
spell.
It's like I know he's a Dortmund legend, and Jacob has no clue.
This Dortmund spell was several years. So he was here for quite some time. Played in every position almost imaginable, including goalkeeper.
He played goalkeeper and outfield.
He was almost exclusively an outfield player. He just played goalkeeper a game because he was that versatile.
That's insane.
And that iconic. I'm seeing no answers in the chat.
Carver, I want to reverse the question. I know you picked these guys. Well, I guess when you're picking these guys, could you have named all of their clubs that they went to?
Not all of them, but most of them, yeah. Like this first one, um, Rot-Weiss Allen, I wouldn't have guessed, and then I wouldn't have guessed the last club too. But everything else, I don't know if I would have guessed Darmstadt either, actually. But I know Dortmund to Galatasaray to Stuttgart for sure.
All right, what you got?
Mr. Kevin
Mm,
Groskreutz,
dude,
the old Julian Wiersen, who
I
now
love
owns a
those boots.
restaurant in Dortmund. He played again. He played winger. He played center mid. He played fullback. He played striker. There was a game where, for a few minutes, he played keeper. For God's sake, he was Mr. Versatile in that Dortmund side for several years. Next one. Oh, hello. There we go. Next one is one of my favorites in recent years. Started his career and is now ending it in Copenhagen.
Mm,
I'll wait a few seconds and give another hint or two.
I have a guess. I don't know how. I don't know if I'm gonna be right, but I have a guess at least on this one. I'm gonna be wrong. I have no faith in
He
myself.
is primarily a number 6.
Okay, I got it.
He's a gorgeous man.
I love this man.
He's someone that we, I think, kind of need in our side right now.
Bring him back.
Ozcan does not live up to what he was like. Not seeing anything in the chat still. Do you have something for me, Jacob?
Delaney.
Thomas Delaney. Yes, sir.
He was, yeah, man. He was one when he left. We're just like, what? But why though?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Delaney. Yep, you got it, Alex. Jacob and Alex. Well done. We got a few more here.
Carver, I'll be right back. I'll leave you with the chat. I'm sorry.
Okay, sounds good. I only got a few more. This one spent almost all of his career with Borussia Dortmund, another club legend. Had a very short stint with Hertha Berlin. Still waiting in the chat if someone could poke it out first since Jacob's not here. I'm trying to think what else to say without completely giving it away. Didn't score many goals, but he was still very, very involved in the squad. Led us to a Pokal victory in the last decade, I'll say. And we are still struggling to find a replacement even today. Subotic is, you're on the right track. Not the same nationality, but someone with as much grit and integrity, I would argue. He is a defender. Subotic played for 2 or 3 clubs after Dortmund, Union Berlin being one of them, and then Saint Etienne. Jacob, Alex guessed Neven Subotic, which is a solid guess. But oh no, I just spoiled it on accident. No, I clicked on accident. Shit,
That's exactly what I was gonna say. What?
Lucas Piszczek, and that's a pretty fitting GIF as well, I would say. That's a funny spoil. My fault. Only got a few more here. Jacob, you should be getting this one instantaneously.
What's that? I've never seen that crest before. What's that last one? That's crazy.
And because I know you probably know it, I'll give it a few seconds in the chat if someone else does.
I feel like Alex might know it. Alex got to know this one.
Been here for several years. Currently not here anymore, obviously, but Roman Berkey is correct. Alex. Very nice. Obviously, Jacob, that was the same answer.
What a man.
I didn't ask for you either, but yeah, that's our boy. Our boy Holman. Treated very well here in the city of St. Louis, for those of you that are watching. I mean, not in terms of the standings, but the culture and the support. He's still absolutely getting exposed by his back line. So that has not changed no matter what continent he's on. Final round.
Man, I suck at this. You know what I should have been doing in the off season
is
is
also
just
a defender.
Is he
First played under Peter Bosch.
Is he still at Stuttgart?
He is.
Okay, I think I know who it is. I have a guess. Got a guess.
I said he's a defender. Spent several years here. Seeing if it's, I know you got your guess. I'm going to see if anyone else has one in the chat before I toss it over to you.
Can we bring him back?
Bring it back? How you mean?
Can we bring him back to Dortmund right
now? Oh, yeah. Yeah, he'd fit perfectly in with the, constantly being unavailable. All right, I'm not seeing anything yet. So do you got anything, Jacob?
Zagadou.
Donaxo Zagadou.
The man.
The greatest Borussia Dortmund player of all time.
No, I think I can win up you on that. Rain, I don't even know how to say it. I can't remember how to say his name. The dude we had on loan from Real Madrid, Ranier.
Yeah. Yep, that's all I got here. Someone else said at the very end. Can only think. Yeah, Munya. Yep. That's those are fun to make. So appreciate everyone participating here. Don't really have much else in the game. I'm not trying to think about it too much. We'll for those of you that are still in here, we will record early next week, and we'll be officially back regularly for the weekly episodes or bi-weekly episodes. Starting early next week, we'll be covering a little bit of the Pokal game, this game as well, a few other smaller things here. We'll talk a bit more about the Gio Reyna transfer. Hopefully there's another arrival in the meantime. It'll be a jam-packed episode. Any other thoughts from you, Jacob?
No, appreciate everyone joining us. I hope you enjoyed that. Tough end, but yeah, these are always fun.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can do more this season, and episode coming later this week. So
we'll definitely do another live stream. Yeah, I like these a lot, and I would be down for more of these trivia too. That's fun to make. So thanks everyone. Thank you everyone for that engaged or came and went. Doesn't matter. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you, Alex. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you guys later.